Good morning folks from this beautiful beach. I'm going to keep my glasses on because I'm going to try to read today. And I realise if I take my glasses off I can't read. But the reaction lenses, so they turn dark with the light or the UV light that's in the air. What a beautiful day it is today. Tell you what, I'll show you where I am. Here's where I am today. This morning, I'm out running. This is where the sails usually sit. There's a couple of sea kayakers out in the back. And I just bumped into Ken out in his kayak. Anyway, what am I on to talk about today? 1 million jobs. Surge past 1 million for the first time since 2001, since records were kept. Jobs, the job availability has surged past 1 million. What implications does this have? Let's talk about it for a wee while and the thoughts about it. I'd be interested to get your input as well. Job vacancies have hit a record high as the economy recovery continues, according to official figures. The number of vacancies in 3 months to August rose above 1 million for the first time since records began in 2001. Figures also show employee statistics were back at pre-COVID levels in August, the Office of National Statistics said. The August payroll showed another monthly increase of 241,000 to 29.1 million. Business Group said, however, despite the return to staffing levels to the pre-pandemic level, just bear with me, they remained high. Pre-pandemic rates remained high, demand for more staff, and there was a risk of labour shortages and dampening growth, and that will affect growth. But why? There's golden opportunities on the horizon for everyone just now. And I'm going to talk about Gerald in a minute, because this is important about reinventing yourself. So what's happening to those people on furlough? The Office of National Statistics said early estimates from the payroll data suggest that in August the total number of employees is around the same level as before the pandemic, though our surveys show well over 1 million are still on furlough. This is the chart. This is mental. Look at this. This again, I go back to saying there's golden opportunities on the horizon. Look at this chart. So there's at 2001. So just over, probably about 700,000 jobs vacancies. So we go to 2001, 2005, 2010, 2015. Look at that. And then we go to 2020 where it drops like a stone clearly because of the pre-pandemic. But look, boom. There's a recipe for boom. You know what boom means? House prices. Jobs. Salaries going up. That's one of the most important things as well. This is going to be a temporary measure. This is almost like getting to, you know when you get in a motorway and you've been stuck for the last 5 or 10 miles and you're in traffic and it takes about 3 hours to get through this 5 or 10 miles of traffic. And then you get to the end of it and you think to yourself, what was all that about? There's no roadblock or anything. We've all just come out of this at the end. And that's effectively what we're in just now with the jobs market. So what's happened is all the people that were in pre-pandemic have actually left all their existing professions because it couldn't provide any income for them, and they've gone and retrained for something else. Morning, James. As a result, what's happened is all these jobs have come back on stream, and the people that were actually in them before do not want to go back to them because they've retrained for other jobs. So there's golden opportunities on the horizon for the people that aren't trained for these jobs. Some employers will take people on regardless of their actual qualifications and train them up as they go. So you've got a golden opportunity to do that. You've also got a golden opportunity sometimes to actually command your own salary at this point in time if you have skills which are in shortage. And that's a recipe for a boom in terms of the economy, in terms of the house market. But it possibly could only be a temporary measure as it levels out towards the end of maybe about a year or a year and a half from now. So let's go on to read a bit more. Okay, but Mr. Atho pointed out the recovery was not even with areas such as London and sectors like hospitality and the arts are still down. Okay, so there's more jobs available in there. It'll come on stream later on as well, which will push it even higher. The Office of National Statistics also cautioned that young people have been badly affected by job losses. The overall government rate continues to recover, particularly among groups such as young workers who were hit hard at the outset of the pandemic, while unemployment has actually fallen, he said. Overall unemployment. Now remember, in economic terms, unemployment, in economic terms, full employment is between 4 and 6% of people unemployed at any one point in time in the economy. That's full employment. That's what the class is, because they deem that most of these people are actually just needing to retrain for these skills and jobs which are available to accommodate for that. And this is the classic example just now. So overall unemployment rate fell from 4.7 to 4.6 in the 3 months to July. Wait a minute. Between 4 and 6%. We're almost at the bottom of that. Could it go below 4? What does that mean? That means we're just going to continue to boom. So let's look at this. So acute hiring crisis. So there's an acute hiring crisis on the horizon here. Head of Economics in the British Chamber of Commerce said, however, that firms are currently facing an acute hiring crisis. Yep, I'll put my hand up to that. But Brexit and COVID driving a more deep-seated decline in labour supply shortage at the end of furlough is unlikely to be the silver bullet to the ongoing shortages, he says. These recruitment difficulties are likely to dampen the recovery by limiting firms' ability to fulfil orders and meet customer demand. The food and accommodation sector saw the biggest jump in the number of jobs available in August, increasing by 57,600. There's the sectors, and there's who's hiring by job vacancies. Look, there's who's all hiring. So human health and social work, well, no, that's obviously because of the situation in NHS and the services that are under strain, and mental health and anxiety and all the rest of it, and more people needing help and support. Hospitality, 134,000. Scientific and technical professions, 98,000. Might not be easy to retrain for that. It might take a wee while, but hey, it could be done. Retail, 83,000, manufacturing, 75,000. Good to see manufacturing actually quite high and looking for jobs, because manufacturing's the lifeblood of our economy. It's not about pushing, services and opening doors for each other. It's actually about manufacturing something from scratch in order to do that. Real estate, 15,000. That's quite interesting. Finance and construction, insurance, 37,000. Motor trades, 14,000. Energy, mining, 1,000. Well, obviously we're moving away from that. Here we go. Some companies in the food industry, which has already seen shortages of fruit pickers and lorry drivers, have been able to provide the normal servers recently. Supermarket bosses have also warned that it is vital to fix the labour shortages problems, the key trading over the Christmas period, because Christmas is coming up. This is where everybody stockpiles their food. So this is even going to get even more in demand. So is it going to put pressure on wage rises and salary rises? I think it possibly could. Now the difficulty is that if that happens, then what happens is a lot more money gets pumped into the economy, because people start buying more and more stuff. Therefore prices go up because there's a shortage of supply, so demand is high, so the prices go up. Just like what happens with houses. Shortage of supply, there's a huge amount of demand, the price goes up because people are prepared to pay more. So that's exactly what's going to happen to the economy. So it might put inflationary pressure on everything, which might actually affect the Bank of England and interest rates. I don't think so. I don't think it's going to do that in the short term. I don't think the Bank of England's going to respond like that. That's a one hit. That's a one club shot to play in a game of golf, if that makes sense. I think Norman Lamont stood up, or possibly Nigel Lawson stood up at one point in time and says, what chance have I got if I've only got one club in my bag? When he was talking about fixing the economy by just raising interest rates to curb inflation. There's other measures to do that as well. So this brings me on to the next subject, probably the most important one out of this. This is all about reinvention. So I've put Gerald Ratner's on here. Now I don't know if anybody knows who Gerald Ratner is. I'll give you a clue. See that ring here? Ratner's Jewellery, 8 Samuels. So Gerald was the poster boy in the 80s and 90s. He was the man. He was the king of jewellery. He founded his dad actually founded Ratner's. I've read the whole story in his first book, The Rise and Fall. But his dad actually founded Ratner's, and he actually took it stratospherically into £1 billion turnover business within a matter of years. A huge success, and then all of a sudden it disappeared overnight because he said one single thing at a statement at maybe the Institute of Directors seminar, where all the press were there, and he said, well, all I do is sell crap. Boom, that's it, it's all over. just like that. The media turned on him, attacked him straight away, and went for the jugular, and it was all lost overnight. So let me just quickly read. This is all about reinventing yourself. So his new book, Reinventing Yourself, I'm just reading just now. It is absolutely amazing at the beginning, and I'm only into maybe the first couple of chapters, and it is a life lesson in reinventing yourself. And he talks about this. So the intro to this is, life is not about playing safe, it's disrupting or die. And reinventing yourself or face extinction. Gerald Ratner has reinvented himself multiple times throughout his life, from jeweller to gym owner to online retailer to author to public speaker to podcaster. This guy has lost it all and got it all back. What he knows, what he doesn't know isn't worth knowing, if that makes sense. He now teaches his business survival skills to people all around the world and shows them how to exploit opportunity when others accept a loss. Sharing his wisdom so you can learn from his mistakes and his successes. In his books, this is what you'll learn, and this is key. This is all about reinventing yourself. It's all very well sitting saying, oh well, he was a multimillionaire and he's still a multimillionaire today, and all the rest of it. But success leaves clues. No matter where you are in life, even if you're just starting out for the first time, it's all about reinventing yourself and disrupting. I started off as a window cleaner, okay? Homeless and unemployed after a while, and then I retrained for IT, for accountancy, for business studies. I went back to college. I passed my professional exams. I became a financial controller. I became a financial director. I built a portfolio of property over a period of time, which allowed me to retire from 20 years later from being homeless and unemployed, and retired at 38-year-old, never to work again. Financial freedom. And then I become an estate agency and a letting agent, and run an estate agency and a letting agency. So it's reinventing yourself is the most important thing. Don't stay where you are if you have an opportunity to reinvent yourself and make even more money. That's the key here. But there's keys, and success leaves clues, and this is one of the books that will give you that information. Look for the silver lining in every outcome, and be ready to reinvent your oneself at a moment's notice. Embrace change. That's the most important thing. The only thing consistent in life is change. That's really what it comes down to. Well, I'll say that again. The only thing consistent in life is change. It's a bit of an oxymoron, but it's true. Change always happens, and you can run with the things that you can't effect of change, and you can just accept them, but you can change the things that you can. So embrace change, take unpopular path, and become a business chameleon. Reset your mind from the brain that built a £500 million jewellery empire before he was even 45. Lost it all, and then built another multi-million pound business less than 10 years later. You'll get insights and actionable ideas for your life and your business. The outdated notion of one job, one career on life is actually dead. It's gone. We all had it. Our parents had it as well. It's like we're retiring after 50 years. Balfours was a classic example. I used to see loads and loads of people retire from Balfours after 50 years service. That doesn't exist anymore. It's very, very rare. So you have to reinvent yourself. You have to retrain. You have to get out there and do it. And this is your starting point. The information in this book will set you free, possibly on the path to your success it will be to come. And you've got that information that's timeless. You can go back to it time and time again. This is the most important thing I learned about books. For 30 years I've read books from more successful people, more successful than me, because of the clues that I could learn as a result of what they've left behind them. Success leaves clues. Why would you not want to learn from people like that? You just have to learn to read a book. Oh, no, I didn't like reading books. Well, listen to the audio, because some of them actually have audios. The Rise and Fall, Gerald's first book, actually was on audio, and I listened to it all the time, and it was fantastic. I actually recognised myself in a lot of the things that he did. So it was quite funny. Morning, Malcolm. So the outdated notion of one job or career for life is actually dead. The new security is not a pension or early retirement. It's your ability to reinvent yourself and your career regularly. It's not the strongest who survive, remember, but those who are most adaptable to change. Your attitude will determine your altitude in life. It's how you react to things and what you do about them which determines where you'll be later on. It's not the strongest who survive, remember, but those who are adaptable to change, as I said. Business life is about reinvention. Remember, just because I said business life, it doesn't mean to say if you've got a job, it doesn't apply to you. If you've not got a job, this applies to you more than anything. You need to read this book. Listen, message me, and I might actually give you the book for nothing to help you out. It's not the strongest who survive, remember. Okay, business life is about reinvention, and Gerald Ratner knows better than anyone what it means to be famed for pulling a Ratner. Now everybody, if you say pulling a Ratner, you know, it'll come up everywhere in Google, and this will be that you'll recognise it. Google it, because you'll see what he said on stage. And to me, you know, Gerald Ratner goes back to the 80s and 90s. I used to read about Gerald in the Sun newspaper, and I thought he was amazing, and I still think he's an amazing leader, and he's an amazing guy. Who knows better than anyone what success means. In pulling a Ratner, Gerald flipped his failure and turned it into success, having transformed the biggest mistake of his life into a 6-figure annual income. He is the very definition of reinvention in the face of adversity and ridicule. Get the book, read the book. It is the most important thing you could ever do. The knowledge and the success that people leave in books behind them that have come before you, that have gone before you, are the most important thing you could ever learn from. Success leaves clues. Why do you think education programs are formed? As a result of people that have blazed the trail before and said this is what people need to learn in order to succeed in these fields. It's these people that have blazed the way. And that's me. Most important thing you could do for the day. Remember, jobs are sky high. Everything's available. It's all about reinvent yourself. And I'm going to give you the last look at where I am today. I've still got another 2 miles to run. Look at that. That is amazing. I have this beach all to, well, not myself, because there's one person behind me and that's it with a dog. But that is it. This is London Links. As I say, this is where the sails usually actually sit out there in the sun on the rocks over there. And the London Links golf course is up there on the hill. Have a nice day, guys. Enjoy yourself. And remember, it's all about reinvention. If you're successful already, you don't really need to reinvent yourself. But if you need something different, you maybe do need to reinvent yourself. So, bye-bye for now and have a great day.